Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today, as usual, this is a fun technique if you like just a little bit of glimmer, a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine, and this is a set here from Alina Crafts. Now, I tried one of these a little while ago and I absolutely loved it. Went back and had a look at some of the other styles, and this is the one I chose. So I just wanted to point out that when the dies come joined together or you are dealing with die sets, there are a couple of tools to have in your craft room that may be really handy. Now, two different sets of pliers. This one here, this set of pliers, has the cutting kind of blade on it. So if you need to snip apart the dies, then I find those are best. Now, these needle nose pliers are the ones that you can take those little sharp edges, those little sharp remaining bits, and these ones snap off so that they are perfectly clean. Like, I can rub my finger here and there is nothing at all that is sharp on here. Some of them you may need to file down, but these ones in particular are beautiful and smooth after you pop off those excess little pieces. So a couple of tools that can be good in the craft room. I just have them dedicated to my little craft space and they just live in my drawer. Now, this one does come with stencils and dies. They come together. Now, there for this one are 5 stencils, which feels overwhelming to me, and I think the last set I had 4 perhaps, but what I did find out is that A, you can skip some, and B, it doesn't really matter which ones you skip. C, there's always ways to kind of get around that and cheat. We can use the same color for a couple of layers because not all of them are going to be touching. But whilst I'm doing this, I am going to do this with a kind of purples set and a kind of pinks set. So this is stencil number 1. You can see really easily that they have a 1 cut out in the number cut out in the top left hand corner. If the number is backwards, then you've got the stencil backwards. If the number looks the right way, then you've got it the right way. That's the kind of simple, really clear, easy instructions that I like. And I am just using a stamping platform and putting them up into the top left-hand corner, my paper as well as my stencil. This way, everything matches. So, as I said, I'm doing a pink lot and a purple lot. And the reason I'm doing this is because I like to do it a whole lot at once, die cut a whole lot at once, but I also am using pinks and purples because that way I don't have to clean my stencils in between. These colours are so similar that even if I get a little bit of one or the other, it doesn't matter which one I do first. The colours are so similar, it's not going to matter. So this one here, we are up to number 3, and you can see the flowers starting to take shape. Now, honestly, even when I was kind of doing this, I thought, I wonder like if these colours are actually going to work. I'm not very good at choosing colours to put together for this type of thing, and I don't have a huge range of colours. In the Distress Oxides, I probably have, maybe 30 or so. I know there's far more than 60, especially now that Tim's released a few more. So I don't have the full range. I don't have the full range in anything, and I don't have space for the full range. So I was worried that I wouldn't have the colours, but honestly, they work pretty good. And some of them I just doubled up with the same colour in different places. So where there's a will, there's a way. Now, I must admit, as I was saying, when I was doing this, I was thinking, is this going to work out well because of the colours I chose? But once you stand back and look at these, I think they look stunning, absolutely stunning, and quick. That's the type of thing I like. Now, the other thing that bothers me with stencils, with dies, is that when you've stenciled something, and then you come to put all the dies on, sometimes the pictures or the images are too close together for you to be able to fit the dies, and so you have to run it through multiple times. Well, let me tell you that this one, you can fit all of the dies on and they fit perfectly. So I just have a big shot machine, which means I think it's got a 6 inches across. This fits through, 1 run, 1 pass through, they're all done. All the dies fit in 1 image, and for that reason, I then took more mint tape, did a big X across the back here, because I am just going to keep this. This is how I'm going to keep this in the packaging. I'm not going to undo these because I know that the stencils are exactly as they are set out. So we're good from here. All I have to do is do the stencils. And I thought, I'll try this out. So I'm going to take off this cross that I've created. All of this, this is just low-tech tape. It's mint tape that's keeping it all on there. And I am going to put it on top of the pink ones, and we'll find out really soon if this is going to line up well or not. But you'll see in just a second, it lines up perfectly. The other thing I love about these images is that there is no white around the outside. There's no white around the border, and I am not a huge fan of that look. So we are golden. That's why I like these ones. Now, adding a little bit of glimmer. I do have my gorgeous daughter who is going to be doing one of these beside me. They do pop in and out all the time, and she hasn't been in a video for a fair while. But I'm going to be using some double-sided tape for this one. Now, I just got whatever I had out of the drawer. Whatever you have is going to work. If it's double-sided tape, it's probably going to work. Now, I did a video recently around using up foils and finding other ways, because hot foiling with the dies is insanely expensive, and that's just not something that I can entertain right now. So I did a video on all the other ways that we could achieve a similar shine and a similar look, and if I can remember, I'll link it down below. But it was lots of different ways. I don't know how many different ways I showed, just lots and lots. And that is what kind of reminded me that I have these foils. I need to keep using them up. And because otherwise they just sit there. I'm sure they don't probably go off, but it is good to keep using what I have in my stash. So I decided to do a couple while I was here. I did one with all the same thicknesses and then one with different thicknesses, and my daughter has done the same. She has just turned 7. I cannot believe. I remember when I had her squidgy gorgeous little hands that were sitting on my knee when she was a little toddler, and I can't believe how time goes. I cannot believe it. But anyhow, now she loves to do it beside me, and you'll see at the end of this, I think there will be plenty of comments in the comment section around just how stunning her card is. Of course, I am very biased, but you can let me know in the comment section down below. So I have these foils. Now these are Deco foils. I don't even know if this is what they look like when you purchase them anymore. I suspect that some of them are similar. You can get hot foils, which are, I'm sure, probably work with double-sided tape, but these are the ones that I'm using. And I was just trying to think of things that would work with the colors, the pinks and the purples that I'd chosen. So a classic gold and a classic silver are going to work nicely. The pink I thought may go nicely, and then the kind of holographic-y silver I thought may go nice as well. So I just don't know. My daughter chose purple. She was anticipating doing the purple flowers, so purple was what she wanted. And this is the fun part, is that all you do is cut one of the pieces of the foil. I find it easier to just take off 1 or 2 pieces of release paper at a time. If you have any gaps or the foil missed, then just go right back in, press the foil down again, and it will adhere, and then you'll get it nice and even. So really, really easy to use this technique. And as I said, at the moment, I have this on the card base. So I've done one. Then I'm going to come back and do the second one. My daughter is still working away on her project as well. But I have chosen the holographic silver one just because I usually lean towards gold these days, and I thought that would be really, really fun. So no doubt at this stage of the video, you guys will be watching this one after Christmas and New Year. So I hope that you've had a break or a holiday. For us in New Zealand here, this is our summer break. The kids have about 7 weeks off school, and we have had Christmas. We had a lovely Christmas, and we are actually getting some sunshine. It's starting to get warmer here. Yeah, so that is really exciting. I'm enjoying having the kids off, which is really, really nice. It's nice to change up our routine and yeah, just have a bit more fun and be able to do the things that we want to do as well. Now, this one here is I think this is the stitched or the stitched indented borders or something. As per usual, I will always have everything linked down below. If you're interested in checking it out, it's linked down below. If you just want to have a look at it, to look at the product, to see if you've got something similar, it's always down below. And then this is the thank you sentiments and the happy birthday from Pinkfresh Studios. I got these because they just are versatile. They have larger sentiments, but they also have sub-sentiments. So these are my current favorites. So I'm going really simple with the plain, the happy birthday, and then my daughter wanted to use the one that says, you make everything better. So that's the one that she chose in the other set. And we are going to stamp this out with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. My daughter is going to stamp hers onto a scrap piece of paper. She wants a little strip to go across the front of hers, whereas I'm going to stamp mine completely onto the little panel I have. This one has an exclamation mark, which I didn't want there. I could have cut this off, but I wasn't sure I wanted to do that. It would be like me to lose the exclamation mark, but I might do that in the future if I find I have more use for it just as the happy birthday by itself. And then at this point my daughter had gone off and done something else, so she's going to come back and finish hers later, but I will show you her finished card. She said that she would love to show you all, so I definitely included it at the end if you'd like to see her version. And I'm creating a stem because the stencil doesn't come with stems, but these are my favorite because all I do is add some very rough green ink down onto a thing and then do a sort of curved stem and we're away laughing. I also got some gold thread, and this is just really fine but quite sparkly gold thread. I'm adding some liquid glue onto the back of my stem. Now the gold thread is just to add sort of another little bit of dimension, bringing a little bit more of that sparkle in, and yeah, nice. Now I actually had green on the back. I had ink on the back of that stem as well, hence why when I put the matte medium down it reactivated the ink and that left that on there. So once I'd chosen to put it down, that was where it needed to go. Now I'm putting some double-sided tape on the back here, wrapping this around and around just so it's nice and kind of messy neat, I like to say. Adding a little bit more double-sided tape down on top of it. This is just to secure it, meaning it's never going to go anywhere. It's definitely not going to unravel when the recipient has it. Then I'm going to add much more double-sided tape to the back of this so that I can adhere this down on top of my foily stripes. Now I think it is a little bit of a shame. I can understand how you think it might be a shame to cover up so much of the foil. However, it's okay with me. I'm happy with the process, and when I put this down here, this is kind of when I start seeing it and I think it's a little too much foil for me. There's a lot going on. That's a lot of foil, and I think there's almost not enough layers, sort of. It just didn't quite look right to me. I'm putting the leaf on over top of the thread, so I'm going to need to hold it there for a second, but this is where you can see me hesitating. I'm thinking, and I think it just doesn't look quite right. So I cut the bottom of the card base off. Then I'm going to trim down some of the foil. Now I could have run this through with the same dies, the indented stitch ones that I had used for the front panel. That would have looked lovely too. I was not really wanting to get out the whole die set and my big shot again, so I just trimmed it down, made a nice thin border of the foil, added liquid glue, put it down onto a card base, and we're away laughing again. So I'm also going to add one of the gorgeous pink flowers up on some foam tape, and that is going to pretty much finish mine off. My daughter did very similar. She just looked at my card and copied as she pleased. She's pretty self-sufficient now. She can do all of these things, and so she chose a slightly bigger flower though, but pretty plain and simple, but really fun. So thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. If you'd like to support my channel, I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. I have a link called Buy Me a Coffee, and you can buy me a coffee to support this channel. But other than that, happy holidays. I hope that you are enjoying your time with family or friends, or even just by yourself for some peace and quiet. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.